What's up, guys? I'm back again with another video here to review the debut of The Last of Us, starring Bella Ramsey as Elle and Pedro Pascal as Joel. Now, this is the adaptation of the video game series. I have not played the second one, but I have played the first one, and I do think that this is possibly one of the best games like ever in my opinion. The story is magnificent. It's so gut wrenching. It's has its ups and downs when it comes to emotional tolls. But when I first heard that this was going to be adapted, I was glad it was going to be into a series rather than into a movie, because usually when they adapt video games into a movies or anime into a movie or whatever, they have so little time. There's so much that you can squeeze in a 2 to 3 hour movie, and sometimes it has to be sometimes it has to be into, sometimes you have to skip some important details, or sometimes if there's a sequel, you might want to save certain things for the sequel. But it's a good thing that they decided to include the Last of Us, decide to do The Last of Us as a series as opposed to a movie, because I don't think they could have gotten this done into just 2 to 3 hours. But as far as the series goes, Pedro Pascal, I was aware of him from he was in Equalizer 2 as the big baddie in Equalizer 2 with Denzel. He was Maximum Lord in Wonder Woman 84, which I'm not a fan of that film at all. And as far as Bella Ramsey, I'm not aware of her work. The only thing I know that she's in is Game of Thrones. I haven't watched that series. I'm well aware that both of them, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, I'm aware that both of them were in Game of Thrones. Not at the same time, but they both previously starred in Game of Thrones. And I think they did an excellent job at the casting overall. And I believe the actress that voices one of the characters in the game is actually playing herself in the series, which I think is really cool that they did that. But as far as the episode goes, I think they did a really great job at the adaptation of it. It felt exactly like I was playing the game all over again. The expansion of certain things was really well done, the in as opposed to the game. In the game, you just jump straight into the story before all shit breaks loose. But in the series, before everything starts to go crazy, and we see Joel with his daughter, and having and regular just regular interactions with their neighbors, and getting to know their neighbors before the breakout starts to happen. I think that was I enjoyed that a lot better than how it's done in the game, to where we just jump straight into just bad shit happening. Because I feel like there's a more emotional attachment to some characters, like some of the neighbors, before they catch the disease and turn into before they turn into walkers. And even the scene with Joel losing his daughter is just as emotional as it is in this series as it is in the game. I think it might be more emotional. There are some key moments that they changed, like in the series, the daughter is biracial. In the game, she's white with blonde hair, I believe. But in that's not really important at all. And the actor that plays Pedro Pascal's brother in this series, he previously starred in Agents of Shield as Ghost Rider. I can't think of his name at the moment, but if you haven't seen him as Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield, I suggest you check that out because he was really badass in that. And there's a 20-year skip. So this actually so this series actually takes place during 2023 as opposed to 2013 when the game came out, or any previous years that they could have done before this. But that doesn't really matter that much. The chemistry with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey is definitely there. I definitely feel something between them. It's like I'm watching the cutscenes in the game. The dialogue was perfect. It seems like they got everything right while also creating their own story, if that makes sense. While sticking to the material, they were also able to, add little bits and pieces of some things to make the episode, you know, not a carbon copy of, the first few minutes of the game, but damn near close to it. And I can't wait to see what the next 8 episodes have on have compared this pre, to this first episode, because it was pretty damn good. But yes, those are my thoughts on the first episode of The Last of Us. Let me know what you think. If if they adapt part two, what do you think they should change about it? What do you think is going to happen, towards the end of this first series? But let me know. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.